with the battle scene. I guess let's go into the Red Bull thing. You can. I'm sure you want to ask about the national comp, seeing as it was such a, it was,
Well, I was actually there. I watched.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. I watched the first two DJs, but I had to go for a personal gig myself. But yeah, I asked Nino Brown about the G Smooth controversy.
So I was there that night, and
Right.
I was playing at Crown, and it was the launch of the R&B Fridays party, which is a pretty big deal.
Mm.
And so I got to see Samrai perform, and then I had to leave to go to Crown.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the video afterwards and sort of everything that ensued with that, and that was an interesting time, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Do you have some thoughts about the set?
Look, man, I try not to judge anybody because, you know, you never know what people are going through in their lives and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he's never come out and admitted that he cheated and played the set through the sampler. Mm-hmm. But certain people, like Jazzy Jeff, Z-Trip, Scratch Bastard, mm-hmm. they said he did.
Yeah.
And I hope that he did, because if you've got men like that saying that you did, you did. Perception is reality. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, Jazzy Jeff posted saying the only way he's going to see Chili's in a restaurant, like, and I don't know Jazzy Jeff. Yep. I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice dude, super humble, very well spoken, very polite. That was about as big a fuck you as you're going to get from Jazzy Jeff, you know what I mean? Like, that was kind of bad. So, I feel for the dude, man. Like, it definitely, I think it's something long term that's going to affect his career.
First of all, did you perform your set before him?
Yeah, I performed before him.
Okay.
I guess, like, from what I could tell, you know, it's never been done. So that was like the big question when I went to the World Finals.
Yeah.
Everyone was asking me, like, so did you know? Did you know? It's like, you know what? When I reflect back on that night and I watched his set, I knew something was funny. You know when you get that sensation of, like, something doesn't make sense right now. Like, but because it's never been done, and you wouldn't expect it from, you know, a national comp.
Mm-hmm.
2, from Melbourne, who all consider themselves as, like, you know, the most respected for hip hop and turntablist, and they live up by their name. You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? To have that happen is, like, unheard of.
Yeah.
And in the world, no DJ, no turntablist and no respected DJ.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, like, your Havana Browns and that who fake their sets, and Calvin Harris's who fake this. Oh, not Calvin, not the other guy, David Guetta and that.
You see the videos on YouTube, yeah.
You see these videos of DJs pretending, but that's the new age DJ. They're not, like, from where we come from.
I mean, I look at them as more producers, so more so than DJs.
You know what I mean? They don't concentrate on DJing, and the dude, the guy can DJ.
Yeah.
It's not he can't DJ. It's not like he can't do it.
Yeah.
So when I watched it, I was like, okay, something's amiss. Like, something just feels wrong. But, you know, that's when it was kind of like, okay, how do you call that? You can't really, like, that's not the first thing that comes in your head. And then I thought, you know what, it doesn't really matter, because, you know, what I did on that night would have been basically what the world wanted to see. Not what Melbourne wants to see, or what Melbourne wanted to support. But I learned real quick. Like, I knew going down there was going to be, like, you know, Melbourne people were going to be Melbourne and support Melbourne. I knew that, which is kind of whack in this competition age where we support our local, which is fine. But in all, we want someone who represents our country to the fullest.
Yes.
And we, you know, as much as I'd want, like, a Sydney guy to win, when I judge competitions, I have to look at, okay, who's going to represent our country and really represent and get us up there and respected among the world. And unfortunately, we still live in that shit mindset of, no, it's just got to be our own regardless of anything else. Like, it's like, well, that's not, we're never gonna get noticed on the world stage if we just keep not supporting what puts Australia first, So it was kind of hard for me. I went down there knowing that I'm gonna have to go full throttle, even though I didn't want to go full throttle. My club, that's not my club set. That's more of a crazy trick set club DJ craziness. You know what I mean? I don't do that in a club. But I knew going down, okay, I'm going to have to really set the tone of they have to give it to me because I'm doing some next level stuff. And then still it didn't really work out. And that was based on so many different factors. But for the most, I had DJ Bite, the ex-world champ, and DJ Shintaro, the previous world champ. When I went to Chile, they pulled me aside and were like overly apologetic because they were like, we didn't get to see your set properly until we watched back later on because we were looking through this little tiny screen and as the distractions of people and everything, and the crowd wasn't responsive. And I was like, you got to understand, like, I'm not from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. And there's always been that tension. There's always been like that Melbourne, Sydney. Well, I don't know. It's just Melbourne not liking us. I don't know what it is. I mean, we're good. Sydney's good with everybody. But I kind of felt that. And they didn't understand that. And they were like, oh, we didn't know. We were wondering why the crowd was showing you no love. I was like, well, yeah, of course, because I'm from Sydney. I'm not from Melbourne. So... Which sucks. Brings me back to that. We shouldn't be looking at it from what state we're from. It's from what country we're from. Right. I've always said that. Even in my 2001 DMC national set, I think when I won, my speech was, I don't consider myself a Sydney DJ or a New South Wales DJ or a Melbourne DJ or a Perth. I'm not that guy. I'm an Australian DJ and I support Australia, not where I'm born and blah, blah. And that's when kind of like everyone cheered. It was like, okay, if we understand that we're from Australia, but so then with the whole G Smooth thing, it kind of was funny because I was like, wait a second, how did he win that? Because even there was other guys on the night who I thought had better sets. Troy Blow had a better set. Chango had a better set.
I watched Chango.
Chango's from Melbourne. He had a better set. I don't know what the angle was or what they were looking for on the night. I mean, I guess it went on crowd response, but it was funny because then a couple of days later I seen the videos. And that's when everything kind of changed. Oh, well, when I looked back at some people who took footage the next day, I could see like, okay, this video does not seem okay. I can see it straight away.
Yeah.
Because I had friends there filming, and I knew straight away as soon as they sent me footage, I was like, okay, something's wrong here. So now I'm gonna have to wait for the videos, and that's when everything kind of turned sour because I was like, okay, this seems messed up. This seems controversial right now because I can see it's not right. And that's why I said the video never lies. And everyone kind of jumped on the whole, no, blah, blah. They said everyone had their thing to say. And I was like, okay, cool. Just wait for the videos. Just wait. And then it started kind of going a bit more. I was getting like messages constantly. Look at this time. Look at this time. Look at this time. Look at this time. And the first, I mean, even me, I was like telling people, nah. maybe his gains were a little bit, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this part was, pre-recorded and he did that part, and maybe I was trying to defend in some ways, like, because it's unbelievable. So you kind of like, I was trying to
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. But then after like 20 things, and you kind of like every 30 seconds or something, it was just like, man, okay, this is bad. This is bad now. And then, like, even I was taking notes, and you had literally everyone. You had Z-Trip, Scratch Bastard, Jazzy Jeff, just all going, nah. This is, and then Vekhead. Well, Vekhead just kind of like, just flipped it on. He just put up everything, and it was just like, oh, wow, here we go. So it was just, and then it went viral. I mean, you can't lie. It was a fake set.
Yeah.
It was 100% fake set. Like, as much as he denies it and his friends can deny it, that was fake. He pre-recorded that set, and I get it. He can do that set. He tried to prove himself later on by doing the whole I can do this set live. It's like, of course you can do the set. You pre-recorded it.
Yeah.
No, someone else didn't do it. You did it. You just recorded it and put it in as a sample bank.
Yeah.
Of course, no one's denying you can't do it. So you had to have done it. But the problem is like that doesn't give you a pass. Like, that doesn't mean like okay, well, because you can do it, you get a pass. No. If you can do it, then do it on the night. The problem is he can only do that set to the ability of what he did live, which was totally different to what he did on the night. Because there's what we call in the industry now, this is how far it's gone, the impossible scratch.
Okay.
He's got the impossible scratch where no one ever can do this scratch because it's impossible. Right. Because there's a million clicks an hour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, and that's where it kind of like goes, okay, not only did you pre-record it, you then edited it. You added in cuts that you can't physically do. Not just him, nobody. Q-Bert can't even, you know what I mean? You had world champion, ITF scratch champions posting up like saying, we can't do this scratch. It's impossible. What is, what was there? Was one that said like, what is this sorcery? Like, and that was ITF, that was the current ITF scratch champion saying that, like, I don't know this scratch, what is this sorcery? It can't be done. Because it can't be done. Like, and that's where it's like, okay, not only did you cheat, but you went above and beyond to like really cheat, like in a way that it can't be done by anyone. Like and then, so for me it was funny as I was laughing my head off. I was like, well, he's definitely done. Why he did it? I don't know. I still, to this day, and to this day, he still admits that he didn't cheat.
Yeah.
Which is the most retarded thing. It's like you're the Bill Clinton of turntablism. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you did it. Just you did it.
And then you slept with her.
Okay, I cheated. I cheated. Okay, I cheated. I faked the whole thing. I was Milli Vanilli on that stage that night. That's it. Like, there's no denying it. There's no like, oh, but I only did this part and I only did this part. It was from start to end. That shit was fake ass. So I find it funny. Like, because if you get caught, you're caught. Yeah. You're caught. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. It's kind of like your girlfriend catching you cheating with another girl. And then go, no, I didn't do it. I'll prove it by...
You got footage.
I can't give you footage.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, why cheat when there's 6 GoPros locked in? Like...
Yeah.
And a camera guy.
Yeah.
Like, hovering around your whole set. Like...
Well, did you think to bring it up to Red Bull? Or like they
we
already
did.
took...
No. So what had happened was, DJs caught wind of it first, and then it kind of went through. All the competitors kind of caught wind, and then worldwide it caught wind, and then Red Bull stepped in first and was like, okay, look, we're looking at the footage, we can see that he's faked it, but we just want to know the extent of how bad this goes, and what, how we're going to approach it. We still have to ask him first. So Red Bull gave him the chance. Like, Red Bull gave him 2 weeks, basically. It was like, they said, we're going to go a week. No, they gave him a week to explain. And he didn't. Every day they were hitting him up. I had Z-Trip, DJ Headspin. They were all on this. All the SK, all the old world champs, all the previous world Red Bull champions, plus all the judges had this big panel committee thing happening where they all had to review the footage. And every day they were putting in their input, which was all the same input as everyone else.
Yeah.
And every day Red Bull was contacting G Smooth saying, you need to explain this, explain these things. And he just, from what I was told from Red Bull and the judges and the competitors and the previous world champs, are like, he's just not replying. He's just saying, no, I didn't cheat. It's like, well, you have to explain yourself. You can't just say, no, I didn't. Like, explain these things. And that's why he did that video, to try and explain himself.
Yeah.
Which is, that was just to prove to him and his friends and family that he could, and to Melbourne, I guess, or to the scene, or I don't know, whatever his reason was, it was, that was, he had his reasons. But then after that, he got slaughtered again because everyone saw the footage, and it looked just as bad. And I was like, okay, well, you didn't do it the exact same way, so you've just literally proven that you couldn't do it the same way. Okay, cool. And then I remember him posting, saying he was going to post up another video, like, to shut down everyone. And it was kind of like, I had to message him. I personally messaged him and I said, look, man, don't do that, because you've had Jazzy Jeff, you got Jazzy Jeff, you got Vechead, you've got Z-Trip, Scratch Bastard. You've got every, like, the top guns, especially Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
If Jazzy Jeff, as you said from the start, if Jazzy Jeff says you faked it, okay, cool. Like, he's not going to not be able to call something like that.
Yeah.
So then they come out with a video. That's what I told G Smooth by a message. I was like, dude, don't do it, because, okay, the first one was to try and, prove yourself to the people. But you've now been called by the greatest. If you then go do a video, you're basically telling Jazzy Jeff, no, you're wrong.
You're not credible, pretty much, yeah.
You're not credible. You're wrong. Scratch Bastard, you're wrong. Craze, you're wrong. Everyone's wrong. The greatest of the greatest are all wrong, and I'm right. That's not...
Slap in the face, yeah.
And that's like, dude, the one thing you don't want to do is slap these guys in the face, because they took it easy on you just by saying, look, we don't approve of this. They did their thing, which was being politically correct and saying, look, we don't approve of this, and we want guys to be real and keep it real. But then if you go slap them in the face, I was like, dude, they're going to go after you after that. That's when you put the hammer on your head really hard. If you slap these guys, and he did. He put the video out, and that's when Jeff put out, like, saying, this guy's, the only chili he's going to see is in the chili in the supermarket or in a restaurant or something. Yeah. He went in on him, and that's just like, hey, why do it? Why do it?
Yeah.
So my thing was, like, I was more upset at the fact that, I've been in the scene for a long time, 16 years. You know, my first battle, like 99, or I guess 17 years or whatever it is. And then previous to that, you had Dexters and you had your ASKs and your KCs, and there's been years of work to try and put us on the map. And Dexter, in all right, put us on the turntabler scene map. He came second in the world. It's not been done by Australian before.
Mm-hmm.
So we proved ourselves. Like, okay, Australia has something to bring. They're doing something and they've proven themselves. And the Australian hip hop scene and everything, we put in so much work and we fight so hard to have that respect.
Mm-hmm.
For this guy to just come through and just shit all over it.
Mm.
All the years of work just flushed down the drain. And what bugs me the most is that we don't crucify a person for it. The whole world crucified a person. But from what I heard, G-Smooth ended up at the National DMC a couple months after. No one said nothing.
No, I don't think anyone really knew about it then.
Oh, is it after?
I don't know. I didn't hear about that. No.
The scene knew about it. The judges
Right.
knew about it. Everyone who in the culture knows.
Right.
They know. Everyone who knows him knows, and everyone that went to that Melbourne national final knew.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, well then, man, like we work so hard, and now we're looked at as Australia, the guys who fake DJing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like that's, man, all that work just thrown down. Luckily, I came third in the world.
Yeah.
Lucky, because man, or even just proving ourselves so that makes me happy. It's kind of sad that G-Smooth took the piss out of Australia.
Yeah.
And put us in that really shit position, and I'm proud and humble to go, well, at least I put us back where we're meant to be, you know what I mean? And that was just, one random situation that should never have happened. And
sure.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It still baffles me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it still baffles everyone else. And, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people say like he cheated because he knew he wasn't going to win or something, or for me, I take it on the thing. I take it on the I'll be like, cool, guys need to cheat to beat me. That's a good testament for me.
Yeah.
And then at the World Finals, I had a guy had to break his laptop to try and beat me.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, Pro Zeke. Yeah, that was totally unexpected.
France, I love France. France is the man. But yeah, that shit was funny. My laptop's about to die. I'm just trying to find a damn charger.
Too easy.
France, Prosecco.
Yeah, Prosecco.
Oh, he is so cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know what he was. I don't know what he was thinking. But I mean, I guess if you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah.
But he almost couldn't do his whole set because we were backstage. Oh, we were behind stage, and we all have our own setups, and then they bring out your setup, and his setup's was on a wheelie table thing, just like all of ours.
Yeah.
And the photographer was like backstage just chilling, and he leant back on the table, and the table started coming off and almost fell off the back of the stage.
Oh shit!
And we had to hold it all up, his everything almost smashed all over the floor.
Damn it, that would have.
So he was already like, "Oh man, dude!" I was like, "Dude, your laptop, his machine, he had like a machine thing, Native Instruments machine.
Yeah,
that actually smacked on the floor really hard, and I thought, oh, dude, that's done. It's done, and fell from high. We're talking you have the stage is about this high when you're standing down. And then you have to go up these stairs to get on the stage. So, and then you have the equipment above that. It just went Like, oh man, he almost had like nothing to go on stage with. So lucky it didn't fall off. But then I guess he was gonna break his stuff anyway. So
yeah,
it was kind of funny. But yeah, he had yeah, I love Franz.
Yeah.
Franz, I call him Franz.
for sure.
Franz
Man.
Zeko. Yeah, Prozaco's the man. He came with it. He came with the bubble machine, and he came with stuff. I don't know. He had the fire stuff, and I don't know. I just remember the bubble machine. I was just like, wow.
You brought
This
it.
guy brought his own bubble machine.
Crazy.